Welcome to my series, where I try to tell Skyrim like it was written in a book, or told in a TV series, with not just one main character who is all of a sudden the Dragonborn, but many different characters, most of which, well, all of which, but one, are not the Dragonborn. This story will be played by many different characters of all different sorts of backstories, and all different combat roles and personalities. I hope you come to enjoy watching this sort of stuff as much as I enjoy making it and playing it. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like, and subscribe if you want. And of course, if you're feeling a bit chatty, drop me a comment and it'll be fun to have a conversation. Anyway, I'm going to let you get to this. Have fun.
Chapter 20. The Assassin. I am the Contractor, an assassin that has assassinated many targets across Tamriel for around 1,000 years. I've killed kings, emperors, jarls, and chieftains and counts. It matters not the target, be it a small child or an old woman. If there's a contract on your head and I'm to take it, you're already dead. Sometimes I kill too many people and earn myself a rather large bounty. When this happens, I go into a slumber to wait around 100 years, then to wake and start again. The slumber I'm in now was because of the War of the Red Diamond. Potema Septim had many contracts for me, even killing septims. I went into slumber right after Potema's son was burned in his carriage. After that, she started killing her allies and resurrecting them. I knew then it was time to slumber and wait 100 years to be awoken by an old friend. But the coffin I hid myself in fell off the wall and I have awoken. How soon has it been since I went into my sleep? I must find out how long it's been, see how the world has changed, to see what septim won the war, and what septim sits on the red ruby throne now. First I must feed. I must drink the blood of my enemies to regain my strength. Necromancers. This must be the reason my coffin fell off the wall. I was once an assassin for the worm cult of Manamarco. I was once allies to their cause. Back then I went by the name Arillius Tharn. No doubt the Tharn family still controls the Empire to this day. We were the ones running the Empire long before the Septims were emperors. I need to find out what time it is, how long it's been after I went to sleep. I wonder if the world still fears my name, or if it's been forgotten. The last time I was outside this cave, it was all burned down. Much time has gone by. Every time I wake, I go and find the Imperial city. I wonder what septim sits on the ruby throne. What will be the new world I've entered? I better go find out what year it is. Best place to catch up on all that would be Bruma. There still could be a bounty on me. I better go in disguised. This place does look different from the last time I saw it. Still, it's better to play it safe so early on.
The spirit of the White Gold Concordat is that men are not and can never be gods, just as Tiber Septim is not a god, nor is Martin Septim.
But what does the Concordat actually say?
The Concordat forbids Talos worship.
No mention of Martin Septim worship, though?
No, there isn't. I must consult with my superiors. Perhaps we will have to petition for a slight amendment to some unfortunately specific wording within the Concordat. We will keep our eyes on your little cult, however.
Martin Septim. And the Chapel of Talos is now the Chapel of Martin. And these Thalmor. Weren't they Aldmeri Dominion? Didn't they get destroyed by Tiber Septim? I better go to the inn and catch up on everything I missed. People love to talk about history and politics when they drink. As it turns out, I was asleep for way too long. I was never awoken. The year is 201 of the Fourth Era. I went to sleep in the year 127 of the Third Era. I've been asleep for around 500 years. Potema died 10 years after I went under. I missed out on the Oblivion Crisis and the fall of the Tribunal. It also appears that the Septim dynasty and the Tharn family are no more. And the new imperial family of the Empire are the Medes. They have ruled for around 200 years. It seems the current emperor isn't very liked because of a war that happened between the Empire and Aldmeri Dominion 30 years ago. It appears the Tharns were lost before the Oblivion Crisis for betraying the emperor, and the Dominion started during this Oblivion Crisis. This war between the Empire and Dominion ended, and the emperor signed some peace treaty, outlawing the worship of Talos. That's who those elves were. They were Dominion, and that's why the Chapel of Talos has been renamed. Renamed after the last Septim who sacrificed his life, fighting off Mehrunes Dagon. And because of this ban of Talos, Skyrim has gone into a full rebellion against the Empire. With civil war comes great opportunities for someone like me. I shall travel to Skyrim and see if my gear is still there. Along the way, I'll no doubt find work, and bring death. And restore some fear back to my name, for it has been too long since anybody shivered mentioning the name, the Contractor. Skyrim will be the place where my name will carry once more. The Nords back then had many names for me. My favorite was Blackhood. I wonder what they'll call me now. Walking around in the daylight, I'll drag many eyes my way. None know what awaits them, but they soon will. For such a small Nordic town, it sure does have a large Imperial presence. Seems the Empire is worried about this rebellion. I better go see if the gear I left behind is still here. It's very doubtful since it's been 500 years. The place still looked the same, but it appears it's had some new owners over the last few centuries. At least it's still being used right. The cage is still there, and there's new dead people in it. I really don't like my blood cold. Seems like all my gear is gone, but that's to be expected. Some of my stuff was still here, like my gems. I'll sell those to get some gold. Looks like I'm to start all over again. At least I still have my armor. My old worm cult assassin gear. Once it was known to be the armor of the worm cult. Even later on it was known to bring death, and it will again. The first Nord hold I'll check on since it's near will be Winterhold. This place was massive and full of magic. Mages hated each other, always competing. I took more than enough contracts from Winterhold to remove an overbearing teacher or a competing mage. It seems since I've been gone more than half of the city was destroyed. Just fell off the side of Skyrim. This place was so quiet. This place wasn't in any shape to offer work. Might go to the bounty board and see if there's any work. The bounty would send me to the Whiterun Hold. Sure, bounty hunting is legal work, but you have the option dead or alive. I get paid by the Jarls to kill people for them. Normally, the law is trying to stop me from killing people. Now they're paying me to do just that.
We're not alone.
I'd take the head back to claim my gold. But since the sun isn't up, the Jarl's steward won't be either. It's been around 800 years since I last visited Whiterun. From what I heard, this civil war started here, when these rebels attacked Whiterun. I might go to the inn until the sun's up and everyone's awake. I'll ask the innkeeper about any gossip. Might lead to some work. Most vampires hate the sun, but I find it the perfect place to hide. They never think you'll be out in the sunlight with all the other mortals.
Been hearing some strange tales of the Jarl's children. Say the one's turning wicked, and the others have an ill-favored look to them. Best to keep clear.
I'll get my pay and ask the Jarl about his kid. I have a feeling the kid might want the old man dead.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Yes, my youngest son. He's a dark child. I don't know what to do with him. He was always a quiet lad, but lately, something has changed. He's become brooding, violent. He won't say a word to me, but I don't know how I upset him. If you could speak to him, draw out the truth, I would be immensely grateful.
Another wanderer, here to lick my father's boots. Good job.
So angry, I can hardly stand
So, the disgusting pig sent you to bother me. One day, I'll tear his face apart so he can leave me alone. My father doesn't know anything about me, but I know about him and about the war, more than he might think. I know that he still worships Tullius, that he hates the Thalmor almost as much as the Stormcloaks do, that he worries about being chased from Whiterun, that I don't have the same mother as my brother and sister. The castle is old. Lots of places nobody's been in a long while. Places where you can overhear things, see things. And the Whispering Lady. She won't tell me her name. I've gotten good at listening to keyholes. At the door in the basement, I hear her talking to me. I thought I was caught, but she started telling me even more secrets. But I can't open the door. In the basement. Trust me, you'll see it. I bet she'll talk to you too.
Whispering door? The kid reminded me of myself. Noble-born kid who just wasn't normal. I myself hated my siblings and cousins.
At last. I've been waiting for someone more fit to carry out my will. The child is spirited, but lacks agency. The boy is good at sussing out secrets, but the corruptibility of children is ultimately too limited for my purposes. You, though, I expect will prove far more malleable. You may think so, but in the end, you mortals will always flit like fire with the winds of your desires and conveniences. And those winds issue from my whispers. First, you must open this door. A piece of my power has been locked away behind it, and even my eyes cannot see past the seals. I'd much rather it be in the hands of an ambitious and talented person, such as yourself. The whole of Whiterun is ripe with paranoia and tensions. The Jarl's court is right to fear the power I hold behind this door. The Jarl trusts few, and they will be his undoing. The Dark Child knows of what I speak. Let him guide your path.
You know the Whispering Lady, don't you? I can tell. I told you, I know everything about the castle. For some reason, that door is special. Only 2 people can open it. Balgruf and Farengar, the court wizard. How you get it from them is up to you. Nobody would notice if Farengar went missing, I promise you. Alright then.
I could kill him for the keys, but mages tend to go out loud, and here that wasn't good. Maybe I might try another method.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors? I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
I might seduce him and take the keys from his clothes.
Remember,
If that doesn't work, then I will end him. I've lived for more than 1,000 years. I've laid with plenty of men and women. The Nords have always been fussy about us Imperials betting the same kind.
Nah, I don't think so. Okay, you've talked me into it.
I've taken many of my targets to bed. They drop their guard, and before you bring them sweet death, you give them pleasure to die for. I could have killed him, but even vampires have needs. Why not have a little fun? I had the key. Was time to unlock this door and find out what's behind it.
Excellent work. Now, I trust you're sharp enough to see that the sword doesn't match the description of the ebony blade you may know. It has languished too long outside the winds of alliance and betrayal. To return to its past glory, it must first drink the blood of deceit. Your world is admirably steeped in lies and inclinations. My blade is a darling leech that feeds on deceptions and nourishes its master. Seek out those closest to you. The final pluck of their misguided heartstrings will accompany my blade in a song of your grandeur.
The Whispering Lady was Mephala. If there was a Daedric prince for assassins, Mephala was her. She is associated with murder, lies, deception, sex, and secrets. She was my prince after Molag. Maybe my awakening was chosen by Lord Mephala. On the way to Windhelm, I was attacked by one of Boethiah's cultists. They had a very nice blade. I'll keep that blade and find out what this proving is later. For now, I wish to explore around Windhelm. See how time has treated this old stone. Something is drawing me to this city. Something is calling out to me. Or someone is calling for my aid. One of my greatest contracts in Windhelm was the assassination of High Queen Erica Snowheart and all 5 of her children in the year 647 of the Second Era. I had drenched the entire Palace of Kings in blood. Anybody that got in my way fell to my blade. None were left standing.
Then it's true, what everyone is saying. That Aventus Aretino is doing the Black Sacrament, trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood?
Oh, Grimbar, always with the nonsense. No, of course not. Those are just tales.
Fine, then I'll invite him out to play. He lives right there. I'm going to knock on his door.
No, child, wait! That boy, that house, they are cursed.
Ha! Then I'm right. I knew it. He's trying to have somebody killed.
All right, I won't deny it, child. What you heard is true. But Aventus Aretino walks a dark path. His actions can lead only to ruin. Now, enough. We will speak no more of this. I am the only friend you need.
It seems I've found what was calling out to me. Another dark child seeking an assassin to bring death.
Oh, very tired. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
The Night Mother has answered your prayers,
Lord
child.
Crone,
She has sent you death.
The Dark Brotherhood will see to that. Send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. You've come at last! I knew you would! It worked! I knew you'd come. I just knew it! I did the Black Sacrament over and over with the body and the things. And then you came, an assassin from the Dark Brotherhood. You don't have to say anything. There's no need. You're here, so I know you'll accept my contract. My mother, she died. I'm all alone now. So they sent me to that terrible orphanage in Riften, Honor Hall. The headmistress is an evil, cruel woman. They call her Grella the Kind, but she's not kind. She's terrible to all of us. So I ran away and came home and performed the Black Sacrament. Now you're here, and you could kill Grella the Kind. Sorry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hated getting sent to Honor Hall, I really miss my friends there.
My first contract, even if it was from a child. I've taken contracts from children before. I've even taken contracts on children. Doesn't matter the target. If there's a price on your head, I'll take it, no matter the age. Like High Queen Erika's children. 2 of them were old enough to fight back. The other 3 were only children. 1 of them was still in the crib. Now I'm being sent to kill some old lady running an orphanage. It matters not if she is cruel. A contract has been struck, and she must die. I will get to Riften, find some dinner and wait for the day to arrive. Find this Grella the Kind and kill her. I'm starving. I'll have to see about getting a bite to eat before the sun rises. Normally, best place for blood is the local inn. Somebody sleeping or too drunk to fight back. While I was drinking in the inn, I saw a young man head out. He was in Riften on his own. Nobody would miss him. He would be my food. As soon as he left, so did I. There I would wait in the shadows, then strike. After satisfying my hunger, I'd wait for the morning and visit this Grellid.
Extra beat. You are
Yes.
And one more thing. I will hear no more talk of adoptions. None of you riffraffers getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. That, my darlings, is why you're here. Why you will always...
There's always a reason somebody wants you dead. Her reason was being a cruel woman. I had even managed to bring happiness to the children. Not that I cared. At least others got to enjoy my work. Now it's time to head back to Windhelm and receive my pay, and before all of the Riften Guard are trying to kill me.
Well, Grella the Kind. Is she, you know... Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. And thank you. Thank you again.
It was just some silver plate. I've killed clients for not paying me. But this could fetch me some gold. Now it's time to go see Markarth, a city older than Skyrim itself. The one city in Tamriel that won't change when I wake up. Sure, sometimes the walls look a little worn. But this place has remained the same since I first saw it in the Second Era. I've seen it change hands from Nords and to Reachmen. I think I've killed at least 3 Jarls here and 5 Reachman chief leaders. Something smelt different. I could smell death. Another vampire was in here. It was her. She was a vampire, but disguised. If she can disguise herself, she has to be powerful. After a few hours, I heard a priest arguing with the people in the inn about locking away the Hall of the Dead.
no shipments coming in, so I do nothing.
It's about the Hall of the Dead. No, you can't go in there. I can't talk about it. Rest assured, the Jarl hears everyone's concerns. You will be able to visit the dead again soon. All right. I was going to suggest the Jarl hire someone to sort this mess out anyway. We've discovered that some of the dead have been eaten. Flesh has been chewed off. Bones were snapped to get at the marrow inside. We haven't caught anyone or anything yet. It's like it knows when I'm there. If you can get to the bottom of this, the priesthood of Arcade will reward you. Take my key, and be careful.
Not many would walk blindly into a crypt, smelling of steel and blood, but not fear. I feel the hunger inside of you, gnawing at you. You see the dead, and your mouth grows wet. Your stomach growls. It's all right. I will not shun you for what you are. Stay. I will tell you everything you have forgotten.
You were young when you first tasted human flesh, weren't you? A brother or sister had died? An accident, of course. Then the hunger set in. Curiosity. What's the harm in just one bite? It's okay now. You found a friend who understands you. You can let go of your guilt. A lot of our kind block out the memory of their first meal. The shame is too much. But you don't need to hide anymore. Namira, the Lady of Decay, accepts you for what you are. She has a place for us where we can sate our appetites without judgment. It's inside Reachcliff Cave. But the dead have stirred from their slumber recently, and I was forced here. Meet me there. We'll fight our way to Namira's embrace together. Until then, tell the people of Markarth that their dead won't be disturbed anymore. We have bigger plans ahead.
Cannibals. I myself have eaten the flesh of man, only because I'm a vampire. This could be beneficial. I'm always fascinated with strange people that just aren't right. Growing up, I felt no pity or guilt causing pain or death. I only felt like I was completing a task. My own mother couldn't look me in the eyes.
Come. The Draugr infesting Namira's sanctuary are inside. Then I'll wait.
She was easy on the eyes. I think when this is all done, I'm going to have a go with her. I cleared out Namira's sanctuary. She's a bit different. The Lady of Decay. If you could think of anything that makes you sick to the stomach, that's the sort of thing she represents.
You've done it. The shrine is ours again. Now we need to prepare a grand feast to welcome you to Namira's coven. You will have the honor of bringing a fresh kill for the main course. And I know the perfect person. A priest filled with the taste of an easy life. Brother Arillius from Markarth. Give him this gold. Tell him you need Arcade's help exploring an old cavern for treasure. And when he stands in Namira's presence, she will take care of the rest.
They wish
Say
to eat
hello
the
to
priest.
Arillius for me.
Very well then. He shall feed our hunger.
You've returned. What happened in the Hall of the Dead? Divines preserve you. You're a hero. We'll reopen the hall right away. Here, take my amulet as a reward. You are looking for Arcade's protection while you delve some dank tomb, I take it? My duties keep me busy in Markarth. I don't know if I can help you. Treasure, you say? I suppose the Jarl won't mind if I'm gone for a little while. Lead on.
Even the priesthood is blinded by gold. I was starting to feel rather peckish. It was time to deliver a feast.
Who are you? What's going on?
Priest of Arcay, I'm your friend.
You're my... friend?
Yes, I'm your friend, and I've invited you to dinner.
I've been invited to dinner. I'm so hungry.
Why don't you lay down and rest while we get the meal ready?
I need to lay down. I'll just be a minute.
Come with me. Our feast is about to begin. The meal is on Namira's table. Go ahead, carve. He looks so sweet. Go ahead, have the first bite.
Mortal, I am Namira, the Lady of Decay. Your consumption of the blood and bile of Arcay's own is pleasing to me. I give you my ring. Wear it, and when you feast on the flesh of the dead, I will grant you my power. Wallow in your wretchedness, my newest champion.
I knew when you walked into the Hall of the Dead that you were special. I knew when you walked into the Hall of the Dead that you were special. And here you are, champion of Namira, keeper of her ring. You're everything I hoped you'd be. It's an honor, champion. Feel free to stay and mingle with your new coven.
I was rewarded with the Ring of Namira. This would give me strength upon eating the flesh of man or myrrh. This will only make me more powerful as a vampire. I shall now feed on the dead and be even stronger. I shall leave these twisted mortals to their meal. I will explore solitude next, and see what awaits me. Ah, solitude. The great wolf on the arch. Never has political assassination been so rewarding here. I wonder how the people want their Jarl dead this time. Will it be a beggar? A suffering merchant? Or even a trusted thane? Or the Jarl's spouse again?
Don't know. Creepy fella. Black robe. Couldn't see his face. Paid me a pretty sum to get that into your hands, though.
A black hand? This has to be the Brotherhood. But I heard they were no more. Somebody has been keeping track of me. This was how the Brotherhood recruited in the past. You kill somebody and they find you. I've worked for them over the centuries. I'd like to see where this goes. I might grab a room. I'm feeling quite tired. I woke in some strange room. Where in oblivion was I?
Sleep well. Does it matter? You're warm, dry, and still very much alive. That's more than can be said for old Grelod. Half of Skyrim knows. Old hag gets butchered in her own orphanage? Things like that tend to get around. Oh, but don't misunderstand. I'm not criticizing. It was a good kill. Old Crone had it coming. And you saved a group of urchins to boot. But there is a slight... problem. You see, that little Aretino boy was looking for the Dark Brotherhood. For me, and my associates. Grelod the Kind was, by all rights, a Dark Brotherhood contract. A kill that you stole. A kill you must repay. Well now, funny you should ask. If you turn around, you'll notice my guests. I've collected them from... well, that's not really important. The here and now. That's what matters. You see, there's a contract out on one of them, and that person can't leave this room alive. But, oh, which one? Go on. See if you can figure it out. Make your choice. Make your kill. I just want to observe and admire. Am I to take your silence as acceptance? Then you know where we stand. Make your kill and we're square. Repayment of your debt is but a discreet knife thrust away.
I was right. It was the Dark Brotherhood, and they aren't gone after all. I have to respect the skill of this mortal. Not even vampires have been able to surprise ambush me. First time that I've ever been taken. She told me, one of these people have a contract out on them, but she wants me to find out who. I could ask, but I'd be wasting time since none of their lives are important. It's better to just kill them all. That way you can't fail. The job was done. Either way, all of them had to die. Nobody would have been able to leave this place anyway. Better to make sure the job's done right.
Well, well. Aren't we the overachiever? 3 possibilities, 3 victims. Must have been one of them, right? So why take chances? When most would speak, you listen. You think. You understand that the only thing that matters is you following my orders. To kill. Of course. And you've repaid your debt in full. Here's the key to the shack. But why stop here? I say we take our relationship to the next level. I would like to officially extend to you an invitation to join my family, the Dark Brotherhood. In the southwest reaches of Skyrim, in the Pine Forest, you'll find the entrance to our sanctuary. It's just beneath the road, hidden from view. When questioned by the Black Door, answer with the correct passphrase, "Silence, my brother." Then you're in, and your new life begins. I'll see you at home.
To rejoin the ranks of the Dark Brotherhood, I might take them up on that offer. Better to be taking contracts from them than being won. I went to the Fall Forest. She told me it was under the road. I knew I was here when I heard it. There it was, the door of the Dark Brotherhood. These guarded all their sanctuaries. The phrase to open this door was, "Silence, my brother."
What is the music of life?
Chapter 20, eh? So we've got the chapter 20. And we finally get to meet the big bad assassin. It's kind of different getting all the way over here to the actual bad character. This is my first, and I'm pretty sure my only, evil playable character. You know, the contractor is, he's twisted, he's different. You know, he's, I don't know what the word for it is. It's I don't know if it's psychopathic, because I think it's psychopathic. He just doesn't care about your life. You know, he's lived for that long, and even when he was a kid, when he was growing up, he just didn't love his siblings or his mother or his father. He was kind of the child that sat in the corner on his own and, you know, enjoyed causing pain to others, and he was wired all different. And eventually at time of age, when he became, you know, 18, 19, 20,
plane meld happened, and he joined Metamarco, where his family joined Metamarco, but he stayed with Metamarco. And all that failed. He went out on his own, and he'd already become a vampire to aid the worm cult in assassinations. And he just kind of went out and did his own thing when Metamarco was captured by Mulek Ball. And ever since then, he's just taken contracts and assassinated people. He enjoys bringing death. That is his goal. That is his talent in life. His armor, I've always seen the contractor armor is the absolute most top tier assassin armor mod in this entire game. And I've always thought about it. Reminds me of, I think this shit came out long before that even ESO did, but it just reminds me of worm cult armor. Like, it's very black, draped, kind of dark, deathy looking. And I like that, so I decided maybe this armor to the people of Skyrim would be known as the contractor armor, but to the people of the past, this would have represented worm cult armor, but not anymore since they're long extinct. He's a really malice character, like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are a job. It doesn't matter if you're a 5-year-old child or a baby in the crib or an old lady with 15 grandchildren or 200 grandchildren. If there's a contract in your head, he will take it, he will kill you indiscriminately. Straight up, just knife thrust away. He's not really into torture unless he needs to torture someone to get information or draw somebody out, but he's not a nice character. Now, every single character that I play as, especially with the guild ones, their entire goal in the future is to join up with a certain hero. He will not. He is an endgame character. Now, of course, I do a lot of spoilers and this sort of thing with my story. When it comes to, well, I do have spoilers to more of my own story where these are all going. The contractor will not help the Dragonborn. He doesn't give a shit. If there's a contract put out in the Dragonborn for the Thelmor, which would be actually a beneficial thing to do in the story, he would straight up kill the Dragonborn. He doesn't care about the end of the world or the control of dragons. He never has. He tried to help the plane mold. If he was there during the Oblivion Crisis, he probably would have helped Murham's Dagon, would have worked with the cultists and assassinated people. He's not right in the head. Like, he is, quite simply, he just doesn't care about life. You're just a knife thrust away from becoming an object laying on the ground. And he will take any contract, he just doesn't give a shit about your life. You are insignificant in his thought. So like his entire goal isn't to join the Dragonborn like the Mages Guild, College, the Companions, and even the future character I haven't touched yet, the Thief. He will dodge all that. There's certain parts of the story why he'll dodge all that, but he's kind of endgame. When it's all said and done, when the Dragon Wars are done, when the Civil War is done, he'll re-emerge and take a certain important somebody out, which, for me personally, and these stories I have no idea about because the mod hasn't released, it probably won't really release for a couple of years, is Beyond Skyrim. That story to continue that story in Beyond Skyrim, the Emperor needs to die. Now, they've said many times in their own Discord that, to do the serial story in Beyond Skyrim, the Emperor will have to die. And if you haven't done it yet in the base game, it will happen for you. Meaning, you'll miss out on the Dark Brotherhood questline, because that will happen, when you're in Cyrodiil doing this questline, and it'll lock you from doing the Dark Brotherhood questline. So, I might as well do it myself, and then, when we get into, when the mod finally comes out, we're able to go into Cyrodiil, I'll be able to continue that story while I've done all Skyrim stories. So he's an endgame character. He will show up during the Civil War. He'll disappear for a while during the Civil War and Dragon Peace sort of stuff. And he'll re-emerge at the very end of the game. He's pretty much an endgame character. So I've got to tie this stuff right too, because Dark Brotherhood's a really weird questline where you get wiped out and all this sort of stuff. The Emperor shows up, and there's big plot holes of that entire thing, man. Like, why would the Emperor come to Skyrim in the midst of a civil war? Visiting your dead cousin isn't really a good enough excuse to risk your entire life and dynasty, since apparently he's the last of his. I don't know why that makes no sense. Like, you'd think you have a few children. Come visit a dead cousin. I mean, there's still like shit tons of Stormcloak synthesizers in Solitude. Anyway, so I've got to be very careful with the Bright Brotherhood questline because it's very plot holy when it comes to both Skyrim's story and my story. So, did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned this. Oh, yeah, there's one scene that I was very uncomfortable doing, and that was him shagging another bloke. I've talked about this in the past with people, and I hate the word. Again, I'm not going to use the word lesbian or gay in Skyrim because I don't think it actually exists. It's just people that sleep with the same people. So I try to like word it correctly where it's kind of dumbed down, where it's like people that don't like the same people. I don't really give it a name. And I've shown this with Freya. I think I've shown a scene with her eating some muff. I've shown quite a few straight scenes where male characters or female characters are getting some spontaneous good loving times. I've certainly talked about the Empire being not giving a flying shit who you sleep with. You know, it doesn't matter to them. What matters is you support the Empire, not who you bed. And I've always talked about this being the Nords, the Eastern Nords being very sort of racist and homophobic, where the Empire, or the western side of Skyrim, is a bit more proactive towards the Imperial way of life. So you might find Nords that willingly, you know, that are open and out there and don't give a shit because they live in a safe area, where the Empire, you know, they live in an Imperial province. So some will be like, oh, that's pretty fucked, you can't do that. Well, the Eastern Nords are like, nah, man, if you do that shit in Windhelm, you'll end up in the water. So I've talked about all this sort of stuff, and I've got a character now that enjoys both sexes. He's, you know, and being an assassin, that'd be quite beneficial because your range of who you can seduce is now stopped. If I was an assassin being a straight dude, you know, and I knew that my target was gay, you know, the whole idea would be to, you know, to seduce him, play him along, take him to his room, and kill him. But as a bisexual, like, you know, I wouldn't want to sleep with him. I'd feel fucking weird, you know, seducing him. I'd feel wrong, and then having to shoot him. But this dude, he'd be able to go in there, bed him, give him a good time, and stick a dagger through his chest. You know, you just busted your nut, and now you've just busted your heart. So it's a lot more beneficial for him. Like I said, I've talked about it a lot. And writing a story, I've got to stay true to that story. You know, I can't just go, oh, I don't like gay shit, so I can't put gay shit in my story. You know, and this was probably the only time that I actually had to ever show it. That was just showing that he likes dudes and girls. So that was the only time I really had to show it, to kind of say that yes, this is what he does, and there's no other really things in the story, I don't think, that involves me having to seduce a male character. There's one of the female character in the future, but that was just more of a statement to show that yes, he's there, and yes, I'm here and I'm queer. But yeah, so that's all that was. And I was hoping he'd actually decline me when it came to the key. I was like, yes, refuse me. But I didn't actually want to kill Farengar because there's a funny scene in the future when he goes to piss off Odar Vin. That's actually kind of it's a humorous scene, you know. It's a little bit of funniness to the waiting for the really end of the last mission, sort of in the main game. But that's just the way it is, you know. He's a bloke that likes blokes and chicks, and I've shown it, and I don't really need to go shooting that shit anymore. I don't even want to see it. I'm not too sure about everyone else's. Let me know in the comments. I think I've gone long enough with this outro. I hope you guys have enjoyed this story. If you did, let me know. Anyway, I'm going to be out of here. Catch you later. Look after yourselves. Peace.